So welcome to our Friday session here at Namaste. Yes, today we're going to have a very simple and very direct lesson. In these seemingly uncertain times, when everything seems to be up in the air, with a choice between love and fear seems so apparent, this is where we find ourselves. And when the choice is so simple and so apparent, then the choice for love should be clear. But in order to get to that choice, we do have to wipe away all those cobwebs in our minds and to get very clear about who we are and what we really, really want. So, right before the session, usually before session, I spend about a half hour chanting and meditating. And I was chanting that beautiful prayer that I've shared with you a couple of times, Ishq Allah, Mabud Allah, which is, God is love, lover, and beloved. And I began to feel that this one chant, these 2 or 3 lines, are like an ocean, and they go deeper and deeper as I allow myself to go deeper and deeper with it. And as I was chanting, it became so clear that choice for love that I just mentioned. When I began to realize God is love, love is all there is. And if that's true, then God is lover and beloved as one. There is only one. And I am that. If that's all there is, then I must be that. We all must be that. Otherwise, there would be something else. Now, these are just words without the experience that's behind them. And we can say intellectually, yes, that makes sense. But that doesn't really get us anywhere. As I was chanting, I realized that because I began to have the experience of that. God is love, Ishq Allah, lover and beloved. The idea that I could be the lover and that God would be the beloved, that in itself cannot be true. If God is love and love is all there is. Or as St. Francis says, why is love not loved? It's the only thing that there is to love. And so this experience of the lover and the beloved as one, joined forever. And it's true whether I want to experience and know that or not. The only question is, why would I try to know anything else? What else is there to know? What else is there to know? But that God is love, Ishq Allah, Mabud Allah, lover and beloved as one. And then the choice between love and fear, or what world we're going to see, becomes very simple. Yesterday we talked about how it is that we can see completely different worlds, and that's all we do when we are living outside that experience of Ishq Allah, Mabud Allah. When we're considering another possibility, then of course we're going to see a different world. We're going to perceive something that is not really there. We can perceive a world where this makes sense completely and totally, and we don't understand anyone who thinks otherwise. Or we perceive a world where this makes sense completely and totally, and we can't understand why anybody else would think otherwise. And so we find ourselves in this polarity, pulled back and forth. Does that sound familiar? It's certainly what's happening very obviously in the world and especially in the U.S. right now. But this is an opportunity. Now that we can see it so clearly, it's an opportunity for us to heal it. And this is the key. Now that it's so obvious that there's a choice that has been made other than love. Otherwise, because when only that choice is made, then we see the same world because there is only that. That is all there is. But when I choose to see something other than, and I look at another group or another person and say, how can you think like that? It's me who's lost. You see, my experience of this love has nothing to do with you experiencing it or not, because I know that it's all there is. And when I know and experience that this is all, lover and beloved in one, everything in my experience aligns. We ascend together. There's no other solution but this. I'll say it again. There is no other solution but this. And yet the egoic mind, the split mind, is constantly looking for solutions. How do we solve this problem? There is no solution other than Ishq Allah, Mabud Allah. God is love, lover and beloved as one. Let it be that simple. Yes, it's true that in this world of duality, it seems like we all perceive a different world and we can't understand another world that we do not perceive. But in this experience that we're describing here today, it joins as one, because there is only one. So yesterday, I read just a little bit from chapter 13 in A Course in Miracles. And as I said, I don't do this every day because I know there are people out there who are not students of the Course, but we are all students of the truth. And if this is true, well, then we're all students of one thing. So I just want to share one paragraph from another section that we did not read yesterday, but I think this wraps it all up. And that's what we're here to do on a Friday, is wrap this all up into this beautiful sacrament of love, because that's what this is. So let me read this first, and then we'll come back to it and go a little slower. You have but two emotions, and one you made, and one was given you. Each is a way of seeing, and different worlds arise from their different sights. Each one, love or fear, is a way of seeing, and different worlds will arise depending upon which one you choose. See through the vision that is given to you, not the one you made, but the one that is given to you. For through Christ's vision, he beholds himself. Christ will behold Christ. Lover and beloved is one. Do you see? And seeing what Christ is, he knows his Father. Seeing only that, it can only know the source. Do you see that? Once again, lover and beloved is one. If I choose to see through the eyes of Christ, which is true vision, which is the only thing that leads to seeing what really is, then I will perceive that everywhere, and I will know the source. Do you see what that's saying? Beyond your darkest dreams, Christ sees God's guiltless child within you. Beyond your darkest dreams, shining in perfect radiance that is undimmed by your dreams. Once again, lover and beloved as one. This is the experience, undimmed by your crazy dreams. And this you will see as you look with Christ. For Christ's vision is Christ's gift of love to you, given to you of the Father for you. So the choice is already made, because in the end, there is only one choice that can be made. Do you see that? I'll say it again. The choice has already been made between fear and love, because it is the only choice that can be made. And so as we look out in this very interesting time and we see what appears to be many choices, the choice to perceive one direction as the only direction, or this direction as the only direction, and neither the twain shall meet, we can have confidence that they meet in love, because love is all there is. Ishq Allah, Mabud Allah. This is such a simple message. And I think we can say that it's really the only message. It's the only message, the only teaching that we need if we want to transform and see what is really there. Now, we can continue for eons to see what is not. We can see these different worlds if we want. But the question is why? What is it giving to you? Is it giving you the joy that you want? Is it filling you with the light that you are? Of course not. That's why the choice between love and fear is no choice at all. Choose love. Choose to experience the lover and the beloved as one, and this choice becomes very easy. So that's my message for the day. I'm going to turn it over to Vicki now, and we'll go practical and see how we can actually apply this to our lives. Good morning, Vicki.
Good morning, Jimmy. Good morning, everyone. Well, it is very practical, and it can be easy if we're not holding on to fear, because we're always holding either to fear or love. And if we hold on to love, then the outcome that we look on is a surprise every day. But if we are the instruments of love, then we stream love through our consciousness to the whole sonship, regardless of what seeming physical outcomes look like around us. And that's either love and thy will be done, or fear, and I think it should be this way. I think it should be this way is all that fear really is. Yeah. That's really all it is. That's what it boils down to. So it is that simple. So whether I like the outcome or I don't like the outcome, oh, this must be the right outcome that love can stream through best. So there's no bad side to love, no matter what it looks like. And my idea of what it looks like is always coming from fear or judgment. And if I can just look at it with wonder and welcome instead of fear and judgment, then I stay in that state of grace that streams the love that I am. I think that's how simple it is. So it's like,
I know.
It's a surprise party.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah, everything's a surprise. And it's so simple. I'm sorry, go ahead, Vicki.
Well, nothing real can be threatened. Love cannot be threatened. Mm-hmm. So if I want to be that instrument of love, then I'm only in thy will be done. Let me be the love. Let me be one with my creator, my father's love. Let me live in that. And then what I look upon doesn't need to make sense in the way I would have added things up, because that's the power of not knowing and knowing that we don't know, like we talked about the other day. When I know I don't know, there's no judgment against. There's just, all right, this is the form that this instrument, this love can pour through. Thank you, God. Hallelujah. All is well.
What an amazing, simple, beautiful teaching, that whatever is happening in front of me right now, if I don't judge it as right or wrong or good or bad, then I can perceive that this is how love is choosing to stream through into my direct experience right now, no matter what. And this week has been a very dramatic and wonderful experience of that for me. I entered this week very, very wrapped up in wanting a particular result, right? And now, because of this teaching, I've moved into a place of divine indifference, where what you just said is exactly true. Whatever it is, this must be the perfect way that love will come streaming through. That certainly has been true for me in this moment in this week. Love has come streaming through because I've let go of my agenda. And I've just simply said, God is love, lover, and beloved. I just keep chanting that. There's only one thing going on. And this must be the vehicle through which I can see and experience that. What else could it be? So this is always going to be about laying aside my agenda of what I think should be happening and just allowing love to be revealed simply and perfectly, however it chooses to be revealed. Anything else you want to say about that, Vicki? It's such a beautiful teaching.
It is, and it is so simple. But it doesn't mean that we're passive. It means that we're actively, proactively giving. And we don't know how that give is going to look from one moment to the next. But love always brings its own direction. So we will all know when it's time for us to speak a word or step into this or step into that. So it's not that we just become passive and hide. It's that we're proactively loving, but we're proactively happy and celebrating because we're not threatened. That's what fear is impossible, joy without opposite means. It means that I abide in the oneness of holy love and that there's no outcome out there that can threaten that if I'm the vehicle for that. And that's what the second coming is all about, that our consciousness is living in this Christ vision place of accepting and recognizing the love that we are. Thanks, Jim.
You know, what you're saying basically is we're here to be instruments of peace. That's it.
Right.
Instruments, not to do this on our own, not to think that we can know anything on our own, but to be the instrument or the vehicle, which is the word you chose, through which this peace can enter and prevail. And it's not passive, but if I'm turning myself over to the divine to be used as an instrument, then it is the divine that is always working through me. Once again, lover and beloved as one. And this is the only goal, not to separate that which is inseparable, or at least think I can separate that which is inseparable. Just allow that love to be what it is, the only thing that is. God is love. And however it's showing up in the moment, this is the best way for love to come streaming through. We have to be totally confident in only that. Thank you, Vicki.
Thanks, Jeremy.
We're going to run over here to Namaste real quick because in case anybody wants to go up to the meditation up at the villa, we're going to give you a chance to share anything. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Who's feeling inspired today? Who wants to share? Beth, I can feel something bubbling up in you.
Okay,
Come on up.
it's true. It was bubbling up. So I want to play the devil's advocate right now. And the reason is because I have a daughter who's been in physical pain for 2 months now, and they haven't been able to physically figure out what's wrong. Of course, I, in my head, think, well, maybe it's in your head, but you can't tell somebody who's in pain that.
Right.
You can't say it's in your head, because when you're feeling physical pain, you're feeling physical pain. So what would you say would be the best way to respond to someone who says, you know, I'm trying to think positive, but it doesn't work because the pain is so great?
Well, there's only one thing you can do, and that's just to love them exactly where they are. Because you're right, when we're in pain like that, it's all encompassing. And to have a brother or a sister next to us who are just holding that space for us rather than expecting us to do it on our own, that's quite a gift. So that would be my only advice is don't say anything. Just hold them there. And you can be the one that holds the certainty. And because your certainty allows you to be one, to experience that oneness with your daughter or with anyone else, it will inevitably somehow, through the grace, flow into their experience. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. When you're in deep pain, whether it be emotional or physical or any other type of discomfort, it's hard to see beyond it. And that's how we can be instruments of peace, once again, by holding the space for them in total confidence. Does that make sense?
Yes, so just hold the truth from her, no matter what she says. Don't try to correct it or give her reasons not to think that way, but just hold the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the most important thing, I believe, and we've been kind of hovering around this for a while now. I'm not here to convince you of anything, right? Because me trying to convince you of something is me basically saying, I'm right and you're wrong. Like, for example, I was trying to do this with my brother, and I'm sure we all have relatives that we have been doing this with. My brother has a very, very different outlook on what's going on politically right now. And I was trying to convince him to see it in another way. And the more I tried to convince him of that, the stronger he became in his position, right? Because what he knows, whether he knows it consciously or not, all I'm really telling him is you're wrong about the way you're looking at this. And instead, the choice became, I'm just going to love you exactly where you are. That has nothing to do with anything. I'm not going to try and convince you of anything. Like St. Francis said, preach the gospel wherever you go, and only when necessary use words. Don't use the words to try and convince people. Just love them right where they're at. And it's the love that will create the shift or the magic or whatever you need. Thank you, Bethel. Ravi, did you have your hand up?
I just wanted to make a comment. Something I sometimes do is I might share what I do if I was in pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As long as we can share that, well, let me just say, if you're guided to share that, then absolutely yes. Because once again, that's you being an instrument of peace. And that guidance, it just shows up. It doesn't come from me planning something. If I'm planning to tell someone what to do or how to act or what to think, then I'm in the shadows. But if suddenly I feel just this thing come through and I just, before I even know that I've said it, it's already said, yeah. That's often what it means to be an instrument. How about you, Joy? You have anything you want to share?
Really love these teachings because they give me such peace. Like when I hear a statement like the one you made, it was something like, oh my God, it's gone. Well, to me, this is about Vicky and you were saying that there's only one thing to say. That is not about having a certain outcome or good versus evil, right versus wrong. It's all about just maybe like standing a little bit back from it and just surrendering my will. And then when I say, as Vic said, thy will be done, I'm opening up to a much broader view of things. And then I get to see that whatever happens is actually what needs to happen. And I can be okay with it or not, but at least I know I'm not in control of that. That very thing just gives me peace. It's very relaxing that I don't have to actually feel strongly about something or another thing. Mm-hmm. That in itself, it's like the first step to, I can feel myself just completely relaxing. And then from there, I can just ask for, okay, help me be willing, or I don't know, whatever, or just to be in that peace. But just that knowing that I don't need to know, I don't need to control, I don't need to even have an agenda or whatever. That's it. That's like the key for me, like the door gate, the gateway. And yeah, that helps me a lot.
Beautifully put. I don't have to be right about this. Because if I have an opinion and I'm trying to force my opinion, then I'm always wrong, regardless of the form. But if we just allow ourselves to just relax and to be those instruments of peace, then all we're going to do is join. We're not going to separate. Me trying to be right at your expense is always going to be trying to separate. But like you said, Joy, if I can just, there's tension in that. I don't need that tension. I can just relax And in the oneness that we share, which is beyond all of those opinions, beyond whoever it is you're supporting in the election or anything else, what we're going for is beyond all of it. Like Rumi says so beautifully, out beyond every thought of right doing or wrong doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there.